I was talking to somebody that's not in the political world, and she was telling me that all of her friends are super freaked out. They're like positive that Trump is going to put them into camps, and they're not political. So so they must have been getting that from MSNBC and
aren't they going to do
media.
that with the Chinese first?
What's that?
Aren't they going to do that with the Chinese first?
Dude,
the gulags are coming for everyone.
Dude, aren't they gonna do that for the Chinese first? And it just like, it's so cringy. Like, I would expect like Ben Shapiro or Matt Walsh to say something like that. These are the progressive icons. How cringy was that? Like, I feel like we're watching people just fall apart in real time. Dude, this is one of the cringiest things I've ever seen.
She was telling me that all of her friends are super freaked out. They're like positive that Trump is going to put them into camps, and they're not political. So so they must have been getting that from MSNBC and
aren't they going to do
media.
that with the Chinese first?
What's that?
Aren't they going to do that with the Chinese first?
Okay, the gulags are coming for everyone. But
dude, cringe, bro. Like, it hurts. I feel like I'm watching a comedian in a room full of people that just got zero laughs.
but people believe it. They do.
I know, and I hate that people are living in fear. Look, there are things that Trump does and will do that will be terrible, okay? He's not gonna round up Americans and put them in gulags. He's just not. And I hate that politically motivated fear-mongering during the election has seeped into the minds of Americans who are now living in fear.
If I thought he was gonna put the Chinese in gulags, my kids are Chinese, my wife is Chinese. I mean, there isn't anything I would do to resist that, right?
Yeah, well, here's the deal, Cenk. Is your wealthy Chinese kids wouldn't be in the gulags, and you know it, and we know it. So of course you aren't worried about it, and you're like, oh, that'll never happen. That'll never happen, right? You said they weren't even gonna make a concentration camp, like.
Right? Like, there isn't anything I wouldn't do, I should say, to resist that, right?
Dude, I don't think that's believable. Look at him, he's like, right? I have a Chinese wife, so of course I would never let them do anything bad to Chinese people. And it's like, motherfucker, you're supposedly the head of the most progressive network. You were calling yourself Polymarket Studios like a month ago, bro. Nobody ever thought you, Mr. Integrity, keep money out of politics, Mr. I'll never take a corporate dollar. Hi, welcome to Peter Thiel Studios. Welcome to JD Vance's Surrogate Daddy Studios. Hi, welcome. I don't defund the police anymore. Now I went from defund the police to be funded by PD Thiel. Like, bro, you think we believe anything you say? Dude, you want to have a beer with Charlie fucking racist motherfucker anti-MLK Kirk. You think anyone is ever going to believe a thing you say? Like when you say, oh yeah, source, I got you, bro. No, you don't. You don't got us. You don't care about us when you're like making fun of your own party in order to try and get Charlie Kirk to polish your knob. Like, what are you talking about, bro?
You're not gonna take my kids. Are you insane? And I'm Muslim. I mean, we are in that worldview.
Dude, he almost said I'm Muslim. He even cut it off, dude. He's not even a practicing Muslim.
Batter up. Like, we are like at the very, very front line, right? Maybe trans people are first and then us, right? But I'm not concerned. I'm not concerned about
maybe trans. Did he actually say that about Muslims? Maybe trans people first, then us?
I'm Muslim. I mean, we are in that worldview. We are batter up. Like, we are like at the very, very front line, right? Maybe trans people are first and then us, right? But I'm not concerned.
Dude, he literally just kind of like do you see what he did there? He literally just sort of like coattail rode onto the trans people being oppressed. This rich motherfucker, like not even a practicing Muslim, to my understanding. I've never seen him out there running a like Muslim-centric anything. But he literally just tried to bring it up here in his defense of Trump, of like identifying as a Muslim and then saying like, well, the trans people are probably getting attacked first. And then like I'm right behind them in the oppression realm. But like, are you shitting me? Like trans people are horrified right now. Okay. Jenny's transgender cousin, she is like scared to death. She lives in Arizona and she is like struggling. She is horrified and so filled with fear. And this motherfucker is trying to now somehow coattail his way on like, well, I'm almost as oppressed as the trans people are. And look at how much I trust Trumpy. Like, bro, they're like sending in their passports and their birth certificates and shit, and they're getting their documents stolen. Like, wow, dude, he is like level jumping so far. This is like mind-blowingly offensive. You know what I mean? It's like now it's beyond just like rhetoric and Cenk, you know, whatever, being a little bit of a grifter and shit. Like this is like offensive. This is like one of the shittiest things that he's done, where he's literally, now he's sort of like distancing himself from even his awareness of what their actual struggle is. And yeah, what's been happening is transgender people in several states have sent in their documents to try and get their markers changed, knowing that, you know, possibly legislation is coming. And they've actually had their shit just get taken, where they don't even get their passport back or renewed, or their birth certificate or their supportive documents. The government has just kept them, and they're seeking legal advice and shit now, where they literally now they don't even have their personal documents anymore. It's fucked up. Like the war is real. It is really crazy. And he is now, you know, like trying to pony onto this as a means of defending Donald Trump, man.
I'm not concerned about anything. Of course, I'm concerned about a lot of different things, right? And we just told you like 3-4 terrible things Trump did in this, show. But irrational fear doesn't help anyone. There's no talk. Like even Pete Hegseth, who said kill all the Muslims, I haven't heard one peep about camps for Muslims or Chinese people, etc. You don't do that. That's ridiculous.
Dude, he's like saying don't future trip, but like they're gonna ban Muslims from the military. But Cenk's like, I don't care. But dude, we are fucking future tripping. Of course we are, because it is very real. Donald Trump originally said they weren't gonna overturn abortion. They weren't gonna attack it. But guess what? They're going to attack it nationally. They're going to attack mifepristone. We know it's going to come. We know they're going after gay rights. They're already doing it in fucking Idaho. We know they're putting the Bible in schools. They're already fucking doing it, Cenk. Why are you looking at the signs of fucking 1933 and now you're telling us, oh, I know we're seeing some signs, but don't get upset about this. Don't start thinking crazy shit. It's like, what the fuck are you talking about, bro? That's irresponsible. That is irresponsible, man. Why don't you have some transgender people on your program talking about how their passports didn't get sent back, didn't get renewed, their documents got heisted? Why don't you have them on, Cenk, and ask them why they're worried about a camp? Because now they're having their documents stolen. They're being abused by the fucking government. The government has been weaponized against them. There's 500 anti-trans bills in state legislatures. And you're telling me that if you had 500 anti-Muslim bills, you wouldn't be worried about camps? You fucking stupid motherfucker, bro. Like, goddamn, man.
Because then you have no credibility. Everybody thinks that you're hysterical clowns. It's crazy talk. Like you don't need that. They just
and now he's trying to tell him that we're the clowns. Cenk, believe me, buddy. Let me just tell you, if there's anybody right now on this screen who's a clown. Bro, believe me, it's you. Homie, like, my God, dude. Dude, I'm about to invite you to my kid's birthday party, homie. Cenk, you're going to come over and you're going to you juggle some hot dogs, dude. Puff on the balloon, bro. Like, holy shit, man. Oh my God, dude.
And transgender people from the military, that's terrible. That's terrible in and of its own right. You don't need gulags for that, for you to be outraged. You should be outraged at that, right? So on things they actually do, it's not too much to ask for.
Dude, what a fucking weirdo, bro. Like, what a fucking weirdo, dude. This guy, and again though, like, this whole thing is I guess the meat of his argument. If we were to, right? If we were to like break up his argument into something that, trying to understand Cenk's point, the meat of his argument is that they're not currently doing internment camps for transgender people. And they're not currently doing internment camps for Muslims or the Chinese, which, as Ana 𝗙cie𝗶𝗪 threw in with her horrible joke. So therefore, you shouldn't be afraid that they're going to, because it's just so completely ridiculous. But here's the problem. They've already banned transgender people in bathrooms in federal buildings. Okay, they've taken away their passports. They've taken away their documents and not sent them back. They are now floating we have the 𝗍𝗍𝗪𝗓 chairperson talking about how it's her personal mission to make it so transgender people can't use the bathroom nationwide. Now, let me just tell you, I hate to break it to you, Cenk, but if you live in fear of even going to use the bathroom, you're kind of in a real world gulag, okay? You may not be locked in a prison camp yet, but aren't you? Aren't you locked in a prison camp in plain sight when you can't even use the fucking bathroom without a fear of either getting beaten to death or going to jail? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, dude, what are we talking about? That is real problematic. Like, you're getting hung up on the word gulag. You're jerking off to the word gulag. But it's about what the reality of, Cenk, you don't live in a world where you're not going to be able to use a public bathroom anymore, boss. Your kids aren't living in a world where, next time this year, they can't use a fucking public bathroom. That's a gulag, stupid ass. Okay? If I can't go out and use a public bathroom without fear of like getting my ass beat or going to jail, that's a fucking gulag. Seriously. What is up, guys? Thank you so much for watching. You like the video, you want to support independent resistance media, you know what to do. Drop that sub, hit the like button, and please share it. And we do love our members, so if you want to become a member, it's another really great way to support. Thanks again for everything, guys. I'll see you next time. Let's go.